Hello, my sewing friends. My name's Diana, and this is my sewing blog, The Wandering Sewist. Welcome. This is another edition of #Fridaysews. I would ask you for just a second to look down at the under your screen and see if you have clicked that subscribe button. Please click the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. I would like to say thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for starting this #Fridaysews. And it's the whole reason that I started my sewing vlog in the first place. If you don't know my story, we are American diplomats. We're living overseas. Right now we're living in Prague in the Czech Republic. Previously, we've lived in Pretoria, South Africa, and Frankfurt, Germany, and Moscow, Russia. So our overseas life it's a lonely one. There's a lack of community, and I picked up sewing a couple of years ago, and I had no sewing friends. So I started watching sewing vlogs on YouTube, and I came across Jen, and she started the #Fridaysews, and it was a perfect opportunity to become part of this sewing community. So thank you so much. So this week for sewing, I have been working on my Vogue dress, 1672, this dress. And one of my subscribers had suggested that this crossover part, that I cut it more over to give myself some extra fabric for coverage. And you know, I cut my dress out and completely forgot to do that, and I didn't have enough extra fabric left over to recut the bodice. So I just had to go with the regular bodice. And let me tell you something, I'm sorry I did that. So I have my dress right here. I'm going to move over. This is my toile. And you can see that I have pins here in the front because it is very cleavage-tastic, way too much for my comfort level. The rest of it fits fine, except for I think I might have to do a sway back adjustment. I'll put it on in just a minute, but I think I might have to do a sway back adjustment. The back of the dress is cut on the bias, and it really does grow on the bias quite a bit. And just from me, from one night to the next morning, I had fit the zipper on and just kind of clipped it on to see where I wanted it to go, and I had marked the waistband on my zipper tape, and then laid the dress flat on my table, went to bed, came back the next day, and there was an inch difference from where the waistband was to where I had marked it on the zipper tape. It had just grown overnight, laying flat on my table. So I can understand why that would be a good feature, the bias cut, for a sturdy fabric like the linen that I would like to use for my dress, my ultimate dress. This, I can see why this would need to be cut on the bias, because this is very structured fabric, and the bias would give the back a little bit more ease. But for this fabric is a polyester, and it already had some give before I even started. It's not technically a stretch fabric, but it does give a little bit. And then when you get it on the bias, wow, it gives a lot. There's a lot of, this is the back. There's a lot of, it just really goes on the bias in the back, across this way too, quite a bit. Which, you know, for the fact that I had to cut out almost the largest size and increase the seam allowance in order to fit into the size on the package, the extra bias is not a bad thing. But I think it did give me too much room in the small of my back, where the the back of the dress is kind of, you know, a little lumpy there. And that's not my lumps, that's fabric lumps. So I went with a neutral colored zipper. The zipper instructions on the fabric, on the pattern, were you're supposed to baste the back of the dress together first, and then you fold over the top of the zipper, which I'm gonna have to take care of this by hand because it didn't work. You fold over the top of the zipper, and then you unzip the zipper and you hand baste it to where you have that seam. You press that seam open and you hand baste it in, and then you go to the machine and you top stitch the zipper down. And that makes a zipper that's not an invisible zipper as close to invisible as you can get, because the package did not say to use an invisible zipper, which wouldn't matter for me because I'm terrible at invisible zippers anyway. I cannot do a good job. I've tried and tried. I just need to practice. I know I need to practice that. So I'm going to put the dress on, and I will back my camera up, and maybe I'll turn it vertical so that you can see the whole dress. I'll be back with you in just a minute. Okay, so here I am in the dress. I will give you a shot of me backed up and doing the whole dress in just a minute, but I just wanted to show you the front. I have it pinned to here, but if I take the pins out, it's cut down to here, which it's very, very low, very low. So if you have any suggestions of how I could close this up without it being super obvious, I tried to just sew a stitch right here, but I wound up with a gap here as well. Like there was a stitch here, and then this whole part right here gapped open. So I think the fabric is stretchy enough that I could just perhaps, let me know what you think, if I just hand sewed like a ladder stitch right along here and just sewed it down. Since I don't have to depend on this being open to get the dress off and on because of the back zipper, then if I just sewed this shut down to here, perhaps that would be an option to keep my modesty intact, because otherwise I would have to wear a camisole or something underneath it in order to wear, and I would still feel uncomfortable because it's still so low that I don't think it would be a dress I would reach for. And I want this to be a dress that I reach for because I really like it. Other than this, I really like this dress. So the dress is not quite finished yet because the gores in the skirt have a lot of bias. So I am going to let it hang for several days and let the bias drop. And then I will level it and hem the skirt. I also haven't hemmed the sleeves. I wanted to wear it a little bit before I decided on the kind of hem that I wanted and how big, because I like a 3/4 length sleeve, and this is just about right here. If I hemmed it and I took another inch out, you know, it's gonna be up a little bit more. I'm not sure about that. I'm thinking I might want to maybe do a bias tape finish or something to keep the sleeve as long as possible. I'm going to turn around so you can see the zipper in the back. So I feel like there is some bunching of the back. I'm going to have to look back at the video, but I think that there's a little bit too much space in the back. I think I might need to to take out like a sway back adjustment, just a wee bit. So yeah, the dress is nearly finished. The only thing that needs to get done is the hemming, and it needs to hang on the bias. I do want to make this dress out of the linen, but before I do that, I think I'm going to go ahead and change the bodice, the front bodice pattern piece, so that from here, it'll go over more, cross over more, so that there's more fabric. And so instead of going down like that, like it does, it goes down like this. It goes, skims across here. So instead of going down like that, I'll angle it over. And I was thinking that the best way to do that might be to lay the pattern piece down on paper, on a big piece of paper, and then just draw in the part that I wanted, and then tape it down. Well, tape it down first, draw in the part extra that I want, and then recut it out, tracing around the pattern piece. So I think that will work better. And at the same time, I think I need to do a little bit of an adjustment, a little bit of extra fabric right back here. Maybe like just a half an inch or an inch. It's not a lot, but I think that it's noticeable. So this wouldn't be a dress I would wear for a formal occasion because it's got too many problems, but I would definitely wear it as an everyday kind of dress because I do love it. So I'm going to insert next a view of the full dress for you to have a look at, so you can see the full effect and the full skirt all the way down. So here you can see the beautiful length of the skirt. I love how it's midi length and the skirt is very full. There's the back. You can see I have a little too much fabric along the small of my back. But the skirt is really swooshy and full, and I just love that. The dress is the only thing that I sewed this week, but I did go to the haberdashery shop that I discovered near my son's school and picked up some supplies for making my youngest son's backpack. As a reminder, I'm going to make him the Marlin backpack. I'll insert the photo here. I made a backpack with my young friend Joy. I'll insert the video in the cards and in the comment section down below if you haven't had a chance to check that one out. And he picked out this really cute toucan fabric, and this is a nice waterproof canvas for the exterior of his backpack. And I'm going to, I picked up some really durable zipper tape that matches nicely. And I got some nice big zipper pulls that will go well. And then for the straps, I found this. It's 1.5 inches wide strap, so I'm going to need new hardware. But it's black, navy blue, and white, which is pretty much the colors in the toucan fabric, and then the blue for the lining. And I will also use this blue for like zipper tabs and things like that. I was thinking about using this blue, but I wasn't able to find a zipper tape and straps to match this blue, which is really what I wanted, but I wasn't able to find that at the little shop. I had to go with what they had. Now, problem. All of my bag making hardware for straps, that would be the little rectangular sliders and the little metal rectangles, those are 1 inch wide. for a 1-inch wide strap. And this is 1.5-inch wide strap. And I forgot that when I was at the haberdashery shop, and I didn't buy the hardware that I need. So I'm gonna have to go back and get some of the little sliders and little rectangles in order to secure the strap to the backpack. But that's okay. I have to go back for some embroidery floss anyway because I ran out. So that is going to be the next thing that I'm going to make, because he's going to be starting school in a week and a half, and I would like for him to have that backpack for when school starts. And I want to get that done as soon as possible so that I can get started on this fabric, which I would like to be able to use to make the Vogue dress. I think that it'll be beautiful in this linen fabric. I really have my heart set on that. I know that some people wanted me to make a more simple linen shift, but I just think it's too beautiful to make something like that. I want to use it to make this dress. The only thing I'm hesitating about is the skirt being gored. Now the skirt for this dress is made out of 5 pieces. You have the center front that you cut on the fold, then you have the 2 side fronts, and then you have the center back and the 2 side backs, 2, 4, it's actually 7 pieces. And that's 7 gores. And with this embroidery, I would like to keep the embroidery intact as much as possible. So what do you think about cutting a circle skirt? Because I could just use the waistband measurement as the waist measurement and just draft a circle skirt. I've drafted a circle skirt before when I made one for my daughter. It was actually one of my first sewing projects I ever made because I didn't have any patterns at all. So I just went on here on YouTube and I just put in how to make your own circle skirt. And it was really easy. So I'm thinking I could just cut a circle skirt and just use the waistband measurement as the circle skirt. So I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to do, because then I will probably only need 2 pieces, the half circle front and half circle back. I'm pretty sure I can cut it that way because I've done it that way before. And then that'll break up the embroidery a lot less. It'll break it up a little bit, but not nearly as much. And I also think for this one, I'm going to insert pockets. I think the linen will be sturdy enough for some pockets. So I'm pretty excited about my plan for that. The other option is to use the bodice from the Upton dress. I can use the bodice with the high V-neck bodice from my Upton dress. I'll insert a photo here. Just use the bodice only and do the same thing. Cut a circle skirt and attach that to the bodice. I can do that with any bodice really. This bodice it's nice, but it's too low cut. The other bodice is because the stretchy, that was also polyester fabric and it was stretchy, so it wound up sagging around the bust darts, but I think with the linen it won't, because it's more structured and it's going to be a closer fit, I'm pretty sure. Because this fabric has more give than the linen would. And I made the mistake of that on that dress of using the lining as a structured cotton instead of a more flexible fabric like this. And I think that was my mistake, but I think the bodice fits fine. if I do it right, if I actually sew it right. So I'm still vacillating back and forth between which bodice. I'm pretty sure I want to use the circle skirt. I'm 95% sure that that's what I'm going to do. But I would like for you to tell me which bodice. Should I use this bodice, which I'm going to have to change because it's too low cut? Or should I use the Upton dress bodice? What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. I appreciate your input. That's it for sewing this week. There's no more sewing going on, no more sewing plans. We're getting ready for school to start. We are going to be going away next week for Labor Day weekend. We're going to Belgium and the Netherlands. We're going to drive. And we're going to meet up with some friends from our church in the Netherlands and have a really lovely weekend. Also next week, we have some visitors coming to see us here in Prague for 2.5 days or so next week. So I will be very busy over the next week and a half with between travel and visitors coming. I may not be able to get a vlog out next week. I will, even if I just do a really super short one while we're traveling, I will try to do something. But I can't promise because I have kids and a husband and they have other demands on my time I may not be wholly agree with, but they are my priority. And other than that, life has been real quiet this week. I have been just, doing all the mom things, getting all the kids ready to go to school. We did our back to school shopping. We did clothes and we did uniforms and we did PE uniforms and all of the school supplies, notebooks, pens, papers, all of that kind of stuff. Spent way too much money on it, but probably cheaper than if I had ordered on Amazon or was shopping in the US because it's a little bit cheaper here in the Czech Republic. Another thing that was cheaper was the accessories I got for making the backpack. The strapping and the zipper tape were much less expensive here in the Czech Republic than they were ordering online. I spent way too much money on the other backpacks accessories, and I, as much as I love them and they're beautiful, it was quite expensive. So I have found this little shop here, and it was only 200 Czech crowns for the things that I needed, which is around $12 or so. So that's a lot less expensive than what I paid online for the other hardware and accessories. So I'm happy about that. That's it from me. I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend with lots of time to sew something beautiful. Take care. Bye.